Newcastle 2, Wolves 1. It's a full-time result at St James's Park today. Frustrating for Wolves because it wasn't a great performance. Of course, we had a little bit of bad luck, which I'll talk about, but it was a chance to get a little bit of space between us and the bottom three, which we failed to do, and certain results have gone against us this weekend. So, yes, we're still 13th in the league, but we're only 3 points ahead of the drop zone, which puts a lot more pressure on the next couple of weeks of fixtures, or the next couple of fixtures with Leeds next week at Molineux. But Wolves starting with Jose Sarr and goal, a back four of Semedo, Dawson, Kilman and Johnny. Midfield three of Lamina, Neves and Martino, and a front three of Traore, Jimenez and Pedence. First half, Wolves didn't start off too brilliantly. It was a little bit of a slow start, but sometimes it is understandable when you're away from home. We've seen those a couple of times. Wolves just try and, work their way into the game. But the earliest, obviously, event in the match, which is going to be the talking point for me, is that Wolves were denied a clear and obvious penalty, and Nick Pope probably should have been sent off as well. How on earth the referee or the linesman on the pitch haven't given this, and how on earth VAR didn't go and ask the referee to go and check it again, is beyond me. Ball goes back to Nick Pope. Poor touch from him. Jimenez, who I thought worked quite hard today, gets the ball off Nick Pope, and there's contact and he goes down, and it should be a penalty. And because it's not a clear attempt to play the ball by Nick Pope, he would be sent off. That would change the game, full stop. Newcastle down to 10 men. Wolves with a glorious opportunity to take the lead. But once again, not for the first, not for the second, not for the third. However many times we've been shafted by referees this season and officials, it's happened again. So that is obviously a real frustration for Wolves, because that would have been a huge chance to give us the lead and obviously have a man advantage as well. Shortly after is when Newcastle get their goal. I thought Jimenez was unfortunate. Gets a contact on the ball because he's almost wrapped himself around the body of the Newcastle player. That's why the referee's given the foul. But we probably should be defending this a little bit better. I think Johnny shrugged off a little bit too easily, and it's a great header by Isaac. I can't take that goal away from him, to be honest. And obviously to go in at half-time 1-0 down was frustrating. Second half, we looked a lot better, which you would probably expect. Newcastle would obviously start to sit a little bit deeper, allowed us a little bit more time on the ball, allowed us to create a few more opportunities. We had one or two chances. I think Pedence hit the post in the first half. Neto hits the woodwork as well from a real close range free kick. Adama, I was surprised to see brought off at half time, especially against Dan Burn, who, by the way, for just before the penalty shout, was a bit of a nasty challenge on Neves, to be fair. I don't know why he was piping up and shouting in the face of Neves. But Dan Burn got, he was having a tough game, I thought, at times against Adama Traore. So I was really surprised that Pedent stayed on for as long as he did. And it's been so often where Lopetegui can get the subs right and it wins us a game. Sometimes he'll get them wrong. Today it was probably a little bit of both, because he brought Hwang on and it was almost an instant impact by Hwang. Right place, right time. A slip from Kieran Trippier allows Hwang just to have one of the easiest goals he'll have in his career and gets us away back in the game. And I would have been really happy with a 1-1 draw. Just over 10 minutes to go. We were still doing that. Lopetegui changes things to a back five, which is a concern for some people. Some people are disappointed with that change on social media. Of course, he switched to the back five for the second half against Spurs. It worked. We were fighting fire with fire, and that's how Wolves got the 3 points. Today, it probably wasn't needed. Obviously, he brought Collins on in the end for Martino. Martino, for what it was worth, had a half-decent game. Almiron then scores the winning goal for Newcastle. Probably should be defended a little bit better. I'm not sure if it's gone down as an own goal or not, because it did take the deflection off Kilman as well. But after that, Wolves just didn't really create too much to try and get the winning goal. Corner, 94th minute, Jose Sarr stays back and the corner doesn't even beat the first man. So that just about sums it up for Wolves today. There were players that, worked hard, put themselves about a little bit, but still not enough bite from Wolves going forward, and still leaves us in a slightly awkward position in the Premier League. And that's why the next two games against Leeds, which is a must-win going into the short break, and then Nottingham Forest, both of those you need to be getting 3 points out of, otherwise we could be dragged back into a little bit of a mess come the end of the season. But that's the thing for me. Keep yourself in the Premier League, and we've got to address our issues going forward in the summer. Wolves have got to spend some serious money on that. because, yeah, once again, another away game where, for me, we just didn't offer enough going forward. But, yeah, full-time Newcastle 2, Wolves 1. I would have been happy with a point, but obviously the talking point is that that penalty that wasn't given. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you very, very soon.